Yo, gentlemen, and welcome to another fucking video, mate. Welcome to another long form video on the YouTube. We're going to smash this out today. I'm sure you've seen of the title of this video. Today's video is how you can go from 10k accounts to making 10k a month. It's pretty massive stuff, but we're going to run through this. This is basically kind of like going over a bit of a scaling plan and how we're going to run it out and how you can go from literally spending £120 a month, as you can see right here, to then going to making 10k in a singular month, okay? This is pretty standard and this is pretty easy, and this is not very hard to do in my opinion. If you do the right things for long enough and you continue to DCA, you continue to lock in, you take the right trades, you can easily do this, okay? So first of all, how are we going to do 10k accounts to 10k a month? Seems like a big jump from 10k accounts, where they pretty much are very small accounts, of course, and like in order to get 10k in payouts from 10k accounts is pretty ridiculous. Like that's pretty hard, but we're just leveraging the 10k accounts, we're leveraging our money, getting high ROI, and then putting the money that we do get paid from these 10k accounts into them bigger accounts in order to be able to then make the big money, okay? So this is a scaling plan. I'm just going to go over it. I was just kind of doing this for one of my mentees recently, and I just thought, fuck it, let's just do a YouTube video on something pretty basic and we'll just go into it, okay? So this is what I would say is the minimum spend here, and this is going to be your monthly spend. So monthly spend for 10k accounts a week and £30 a week. That is only £120 a month, for 10k accounts a month, sorry. But that's still only £120 a month, and that is with ACG, so Alpha Capital Group. Code 10k for 40 is going to get you those accounts for £30, $40, and that's going to mean that you're purchasing one account a week. Now, why we want to do one account a week instead of doing like 4 accounts at the same period of time is just so we can diversify, DCA, spread out our probabilities in terms of when we're buying those accounts. So the way that the prop firm evaluation stage pretty much goes is that when you buy an account, the win streak or loss streak that you land on, all up to probabilities out of your hands, you don't know what it is going to be, basically determines how quick or how slow it's going to take you to either pass or fail an account. Because if imagine we're on a data sheet, you're looking down and you buy your first account at the top and you take 5 losing trades in a row. Okay, then you buy your second account after those 5 losing trades because it's a week later. Then you win 3 trades in a row. Then that's account passed, and then the other one's being dragged out of drawdown slowly. So that is why we want to be able to space out when we're buying the accounts. And as you can see right here, every Monday we're going to purchase an account. And that's just going to allow us to space it out and allow us to get the better probabilities. So we want to do every Monday, we're purchasing an account. We're buying an account every single Monday. So 1 10k week 1, week 2, 2 10ks, week 3, second 10k, week 3, third 10k, week 4, fourth 10k, okay? And that would basically be how you're going to space out when you're buying your accounts. Now, this is pretty applicable in terms of whatever budget you have. This is the bare minimum, in my opinion, that you should be spending, the bare minimum in order to scale. But this is the only accounts you're going to be buying, as you can see right here, the only accounts you're going to be buying with your own money. You are only going to be buying 10Ks with your own money if this is your budget. If this is your monthly budget, £120, very low in my opinion. However, you can still very much run it up from this size spending in terms of per month to then making 10K a month. So let's go through exactly what we're going to do. So these are the only accounts that we're going to be buying. And you might be asking, oh, I thought we were going to buy bigger accounts. Yes, of course we're going to buy bigger accounts. However, these are the only accounts we're going to be buying with our own money, or your own money working at your JOB. Yeah, these are the only accounts you're going to be buying with your own money. And then the reason why we buy these accounts is because they're cheap, first of all, and we can get very high ROI. For me, I have never actually traded with the 10Ks because when I started trading, I just started buying bigger accounts. Maybe I bought a couple 10Ks, a couple 5Ks back in the day, but then I just scaled into big accounts. And that worked for me. However, this is another way to approach it if you don't want to put as much money in and you don't want to lose as much money at the start. This is a really good way to approach it. So with the bigger accounts, once you get on these accounts, on the 10Ks, when you get a payout, you're going to use that money in order to buy the bigger accounts. You're still going to be buying other accounts, but you're just using money that you've made from the game. Okay, and there is no time limit on when you're going to pass these accounts, what risk you're going to do. I don't advise risk because people just fuck up and they can't actually deal with the mental side of doing high risk approaches. So now I just do your own risk, mate, whatever, and firm it. Okay, so then we're going all the way down here, account passed. Okay, so now we're moving on to the first passed account. You're spacing out when you're buying these, you're staying consistent. I'd recommend trading one model and just sticking to it. once it gets to the point where you have multiple accounts on the go, you take every single trade in all of those accounts. You are diversifying enough with time diversification in terms of evals, and especially 10Ks. I wouldn't recommend diversifying any more unless you get more advanced with it. Okay, so account passed. First account that you're ever going to pass, ever 10K, first account passed. This is how we're going to run it up. So first passed account, 1% risk. We're going to run 1% risk, and this is relatively low for 10Ks because 10Ks are so cheap and disposable, and you can literally just buy them like that. It's £30. If you can't afford that, you need to work a fucking job. Jesus Christ, that's terrible if you can't afford that. So, but everyone's situation is different. Obviously, I'm not slating anyone, but you need to get some hours under your belt if you can't afford £120 a month in order to better your life and potentially go to making 10K, 20K, 30K, 50K a month. Okay, so 1% risk, which is going to give you 10 losing trades in a row. So that's a pretty good buffer. 10 losing trades in a row. And that means that you can fuck up a bit, whether it's your first account, and still it's giving you pretty good probabilities, okay? It's giving you pretty good probabilities. So let's get into what we're going to be then looking for, because I always recommend doing this. I always recommend setting yourself a payout target before you have passed the account or straight away after you pass the account. So when you're up on the account, or if you're down on the account, whatever it is, if you're up like $200, you're not getting, I need to take a payout, I don't want to miss out on $200. No, you're going to set yourself a target and then you're going to fucking stick to it. And for me, what I always find works best with my mentees is 6% or 6 risk to reward, okay? So it's going to be 6 risk to reward due to the fact that we're doing 1% risk and 6% up on the account. That means our account is going to be at $10,600. Which is then going to give you an 80-20 split of ACG and give you $480. Now, the reason why I say to go for a 6% target is because this is straight away going to allow you to buy one 100K. And you basically, as soon as you pass the first account, you want to try and speed track the process from going small account to big account. So that's why for the first account, say just 6%, buy yourself a big account, and then you can continue to trade on it once you've been paid out, okay? So then the action after that, because this is going to allow you to buy one account, we're going to go action, purchase one 100K account. Okay, this is where it gets into a bit more of the big leagues and you're going to start trading. I would still recommend sticking to the same risk plan in terms of on the eval, whatever you're doing. For me, I do 1.66% risk. I'm not advising you to do anything because this is not financial advice, first of all. And a lot of guys can't handle the high risk approach, but this is going to speed track evals. And that's what I want to do. Okay, so let's say the first account that you do pass, you then get a payout on, and then you buy an 100K account, and then you actually pass that 100K account. Now, the likelihood of this happening is low. It's not going to happen like this. You're probably going to blow your first couple 10Ks, then maybe you're going to pass one, then maybe you're going to blow it, and then maybe you're going to pass another 10K, and then maybe you're going to get a payout. Then who says you're going to pass 100K first time? No one knows, okay? So let's say the first time that you do pass a 100K account, this is what risk I'd recommend doing. So 0.5% risk, because this is a big account which you want to have as a banker. These bigger accounts are much less disposable because they're going to cost you a lot more money. And if you're wanting to spend less money and you just want to go for the 10K scaling approach, like I'm recommending here, then it's going to take you, you're going to have to get another payout in order to buy the account, and then you're going to have to pass that 100K. I would just recommend doing 0.5% risk, pretty good percentage risk, pretty low. And that's just going to give you 20 losing trades in a row from break even to blow the account. It's pretty unlikely, okay, whatever strategy you're using. And then I just say to do a 3% payout target, which is going to be 6 risk reward again. But the reason why I say that is it's going to give you 3K profit, 80-20 split. So that's going to give you $2.4K dollars. Now with ACG at the moment, I think the 100Ks with the current code, which is Willows, it's like $422, okay? So it's going to give you 5 to 6 100K accounts. Now, when I say it's going to give you the ability to buy 5 to 6 100K accounts, you are not going to spend any of this money. You're not going to go to Louis Vuitton. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to buy yourself, well, $2.4K dollars is going to get you a mid-watch, but you're not going to buy yourself anything. You are just going to keep this money in your bank account, and you're going to slowly supplement these accounts in. And the way that I'd recommend doing it is the same as this, the same DCA approach, one account per week. Or maybe you want to space out a bit more, okay? So it's up to you how you're going to do it, but just space out when you start trading these accounts. And I would recommend the first account that you do pass doing 0.5% risk. 0.5% risk, 3% payout target, 3K. It's not like you're not going to be able to trade on these accounts again. You still are. So you're still going to be able to then maybe up your risk once you've got a payout if that's what you want to do. Maybe go for a bigger profit target and then make more money. But this right here, 5 to 6 accounts can change your fucking life. If you pass 4 of those cunts, that can change your fucking life. 500k in funding can change your life if you get payouts on those accounts, okay? So don't spend any of the money, put it all straight back into the game. And then but don't buy all these accounts at the same time, because you can have all your eggs in one basket. If you land on a bad period, then you're gonna fucking kick yourself and you're gonna be like, why the fuck did I do that? Because then you're just gonna lose all the accounts, then you're gonna be back at square one, you're gonna have to get another payout, and then you're gonna have to buy accounts again, okay? So still space out when you're buying the accounts. And then whether you wanna change it after you've passed this 100, after you've got the first payout on this 100k, that's completely up to you, what risk you want to do. But this is what I'd recommend. Again, like, whether you're going to fucking listen to this, I hope that you do, because it's a pretty good system. But this is the way that I'd go for the first 100k account, okay? So then let's say that you then pass your second 10k account. Second 10k account, we're going to go for more of an aggressive risk plan, okay? So 1.5% risk and then 9 risk reward profit targets. That's 3 winning trades in a row from past, which is then going to get your balance up to $11,350, not pounds, sorry, which can give you 80-20 split and then take home $1,080 after the split. I don't know what it is after the conversions, which is going to allow you to basically buy 2 100k accounts, pretty much. 2 100k accounts, you can have like $200 left over. Maybe you want to buy a 50k as well. And then exact same way again, you are going to buy accounts with that. You are not going to do anything else with the money. You're going to buy accounts, and then we're going to supplement it in the same way by spacing out when you start trading them. And then that is going to give you the best chances of then succeeding. So once you have then built up these accounts, that's pretty much it for the Miro board, but that's just simple. Okay, that is the scaling plan. Because then once you've got multiple 100k accounts, you're still going to continue to buy the 10Ks, because that's giving you purchasing power to then buy the bigger accounts until you get to a certain point. And wouldn't even say there is a certain point, but you're just going to know, like, when you have enough funding, when you've got enough payouts from the 100Ks, you don't need to continue to buy the 10Ks. Maybe you still want to, but you're going to get max cap at a certain point. So FTMO, ACG is where I'd recommend going. And then like Funded Next, Trader Scale are the ones after that, I'd say. Obviously, there are different firms. Maybe I don't know about them, but you need to continue putting money in the game. Don't take any money for yourself until you get to about 400k in funding. Maybe then your 5th payout on your account, you want to spend on something dank. Fucking go for it. Do you know what I mean? But continue to buy accounts with the money that you are getting. And then once you've got multiple 100Ks, maybe you want to diversify in terms of model. Maybe you want to diversify in terms of the like risk approaches that you do. So maybe you want to have one higher risk, one medium risk, one low risk, another low risk. I would always recommend doing slightly lower risk with the bigger accounts, because you want to keep them. They are the bankers. They are the ones that you can rely on. Whereas the other accounts, because they're cheaper and they're less expensive and they are smaller accounts, you can run higher risk and it doesn't fucking matter. Like 1.5% risk, I'd never say to do that on bigger accounts, but 1.5% risk, 3 winning trades in a row is going to get you a K on an initial investment of £30, which then you can put into 2 100k accounts. And then you just continue to do this process. Even once you pass your first 100k, continue to buy the 10Ks, continue to trade on the 100k. However you want to diversify is up to you. This is the way to go from buying 10k accounts to making 10k a month, and more and more and more. As you get more funding, it's infinite. And then you go to a personal account and then it's infinite. But that is everything, gents. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you want to work with me one-on-one, my Instagram link will be in the description, and then just DM me Scale. And this is what I do for my mentees, obviously in a lot more detail, map out a lot more in terms of risk, what we're going to do for everything, and then how we're going to fucking run it the fuck up. But peace out, mate.